Hello students, so we shall continue with the same poem, The Farmer's Wife. Okay, so in the last class we started with the introduction about how empowerment of women is shown in through this poem, and Olga, she upholds the principle or ideas of feminist, and here there is a woman who stands strong. Okay, even though she has lost her husband and he has committed suicide, and yes, she is a farmer's wife. Okay, so we shall start. You are virtuous and you're gone, poor sinner that I am remain before your creditors unable to bend your head. Okay, so this poem starts sarcastically. Okay, so this poem starts sarcastically, and here you refers to farmer. Okay, this farmer who is dead, now was very much virtuous. Okay, with all morals, he was having all kind of morality values. Okay, and you are gone, so he is now dead. Okay, poor sinner that I am remain. So here farmer's wife becomes the mouthpiece of many other farmers wives. Okay, so this particular woman, she becomes mouthpiece of farmer's wife. Okay, and she says, now I am sinner. Okay, I am caught amidst this society, patriarchal society, and now I am a widow. Okay, and I have to take care of our children. Okay, and you have committed suicide. Okay, before your creditors. Okay, so creditors is are people who has given loan to this person. Okay, creditors are people, so here you can see the image. So these people are the ones who has given loan to this farmer. Okay, so you was not unable to bend your head. Okay, so you were not able to bend your head in front of them because you are not able to clear the loan. Okay, loan given by them, you was not able to clear that, and you was not ready to bend your head in front of them, and you are just gone. Okay, so you was not able to bend your head in front of them or stretch out your hand. You was not ready to beg in front of them or sell your crops. So you was not even ready to do anything. You was not ready to bend in front of them. You are not ready to beg in front of them. You are not ready to sell your crops. Okay, which we have yield. Okay, but you crossed over. You crossed over signifies dead. Okay, so here in the first paragraph, so till here we can consider it as a first paragraph, and you can see the pain which she is in. Okay, the farmer's wife, she's in pain. Okay, the poet Olga has clearly reflected the aftermath of farmer's suicide in the poem. So aftermath means after the farmer has committed suicide, what is the plight that his wife has to face. Okay, the farmer's wife, this poem is written in the form of an address by a farmer's wife to him. So she is addressing, the farmer's wife is addressing to her husband, to him. Okay, the first lines opens on a sarcastic note. So we got to know that the poem begins with a sarcastic note referring to the dead farmer as virtuous. So yes, we saw how the dead farmer is named as virtuous. Okay, and isn't it sarcastic? He is dead and he has committed suicide, and we are naming him, she is naming, or we are naming him as a virtuous. Okay, the poet uses a series of contrasts to the speaker words. The farmer's widow says that he remained virtuous by ending his life, whereas she remains sinner in the eyes of an orthodox society. Yes, this society is a patriarchal society, and he died, and he is named as virtuous, and she is alive and she has to remain sinner, okay, in front of this orthodox patriarchal society. Okay, yes. Okay, so now she is called as a sinner. Okay, and this man, this farmer, has escaped from the creditors, okay, and the society. Every time there was a crop failure, okay, yes, farmers will have crops failure. He had to bend his head with hands stretched before his creditors, or he could sell his crops if he had any, but now crossed all over of these options. So every time there was a failure in his farm, every time there was a crop failure, he has to bend in front of the creditors for money. He has to stretch out his hand, okay, and he has to sell the crops, okay. But leaving all these options, he crossed over. He committed suicide. He is dead. Okay. Okay. So we shall start with the next paragraph. But I was born with a head bent, a hand outstretched, not unused to being sold. Knowing all this, did you leave me? You found release with poison, poisoning my bitter existence. The cotton crop is but yesterday's, but our family. Okay, so this para talks about patriarchy. Okay, though the poem begins addressing to the it addresses to the husband for his desperate act of committing suicide, okay? But it continues on feminist ground. It talks about the struggles that women face in the patriarchal society, and the speaker presents a contrasting picture wherein she was born girl child, okay, with her head bent and a hand outstretched, because the male-centric society wouldn't welcome the birth of girl child. Yes or no? Right? So she says, first you crossed over. Okay, so here you took a drastic step that shows you were covered. Okay, so she says, farmer's wife says to her husband, you took a drastic step that shows you was covered. Okay, now the wife and children are left out. Okay, so she is very powerful. Okay, so she is very powerful, and so now, but I was born with a head bent. So you was not ready to bend head in front of creditors and you committed suicide. But in a patriarchal society, okay, I was born as a girl child, okay, and every girl child is a burden to a father, okay. Every girl child is seen as a burden to a father, and they wait until they are married off, okay. So they will be done with their duty, okay. So yes, I was born in a patriarchal society where the male was head of the family and I had bent down, okay. I had always bent down amidst my society, amidst my family, because I was a girl, okay. Still now, till today, yes, there are many abortions done when they get to know that it is girl baby, okay. I don't know for what, but still there is this plight, okay. And she says, yes, girls are seen as a burden, okay, and they're always seen as a objectified, and a hand outstretched, okay. So you was not ready to beg, okay. He was not ready to take a brave step to stand to stand firm and to be alive, okay. But a hand outstretched, okay. That shows, a hand outstretched shows that a woman always needs to beg, okay. So she's always dependent on someone, a man, okay. When she is young, she is dependent on father. When she is married, she is dependent on husband. When she's old, she's dependent on children, Okay, that's how woman has to beg. Okay, so she says, what's my identity? Okay, so desperation and helplessness of women, how woman is been seen in the society, not unused to being sold. Okay, so yes, women are sold off, married off, sold off, and they are seen as burden. So women are objectified. Okay, and they are seen as the object which is sold for others. Okay, and it is not a new thing. It is nothing new. It is all old. Okay, knowing all this, did you leave me? Okay, so she is questioning her husband. So you know that we have faced many difficulties, struggles, traumas. Being born in a patriarchal family, girls always will have boundaries, and they always live amidst four walls in the kitchen, cleaning, washing, looking after kids, looking after the men in the family. Okay, so she needs answer. So you knew all this, but you still left me. Okay, you find release with poison. Okay, so he chose death than to live. Okay, he was an escapist. He just wanted to escape from that plight. He never thought about his family, children, wife. Okay, poisoning my bitter existence. Okay, you poison, you my life is now pathetic. Okay, you poisoned my life. You drank poison and you committed suicide, but my life is now pathetic. Okay, the cotton crop is but yesterday. Okay, why he died is, here is the reason. Okay, um, failure of the crop didn't give expected yield. Okay, this is the reason for his suicide. Okay, the reason is the crop was failure, and the result is he has taken poison. Okay, but so the crop, if it is not, if we don't have the expected yield this year, we might have next year. But have you ever thought about our family? Okay, so you choose to die, but you but why didn't you have courage to live in this society? Okay, why didn't you have the courage to live for us, for the family? Okay, yes, farmers become illiterate, uneducated, and they don't even think about family, wife, children, and they commit suicide. They act like illiterate. Okay, yes, even literate people, when they are in depression, they commit suicide. We have seen many cases recently, people who have committed suicide. Okay, so just when you can't you think that there is people who are dependent on you? Okay, so we shall stop here.